My name is Avneeta. I'm a junior from Bay Area. I'm a junior who goes to a Bay Area high school, and I'm currently interested in studying further in business and more specifically marketing.
Thank you to everyone who shared. I'm Tia, and I'm a sophomore in high school that also lives in the Bay Area. And I'm really interested in the small business world in general. Specifically, both my parents are small business owners, and just listening to what they talk about, I'm really interested in that. And listening to their struggles and what they deal with day to day is also what inspired some of this stuff that we do with Clear Business Boost. So Avneeta and I started Clear Business Boost because we saw how confusing specific aspects of running a business can be. So our goal is to bring in experts to help explain things in a simpler way. So today's session is about making your website work for your business and helping customers find you. And we have Sandeepa here to break this down in a easy way. So I'll hand it back to Avita.
Okay, yeah, thank you. So, Tia mentioned we're very excited to welcome Sandeepa Nayak, who's the owner of KHA Creation, which is a web design and digital solution company that helps businesses grow or build strong and effective online presence. Sandeepa has years of experience working with small businesses and organizations to design websites that are not just visually appealing, but also easy to find, easy to use, and aligned with their personal business goals. She's known for breaking down technical topics like SEO and website strategy in a way that's clear and practical. And both me and Tia are thrilled to have her here today, and we hope you are too. As Sandeepa goes through her presentation, feel free to jot down any questions. We'll have time for Q&A afterwards, and also feel free to ask questions throughout the presentation by raising your hand or typing your question in the chat.
Okay, thank you so much, Tia, as well as Avnita. Thank you everyone for being here. I'm so delighted. I have been to a couple of sessions conducted by other guests, and I was thrilled when I was asked to be a part of this. It's always fun to be among your own people and talk something that is close to your heart. So, Tia said, I have been into websites and web applications. This will be my 28th or 29th year. However, I always say 20 plus years because it should match how young I look. So, with that being said, today we are going to talk about turning your website into a customer magnet. So, how do we do that? Let's look at it, dissect it, and understand little by little what it means to be a customer magnet. So, some problems that we usually see when it comes with websites is they don't convert because maybe they don't look good and hence they don't generate leads. We have been to so many websites ourselves that don't look great. It's very confusing and they give you information, but then they don't tell you exactly what you're supposed to do next. Am I supposed to contact somebody on the website? And most people, I got somebody today who had a landscaping business and he said, I just need my website out there. I don't care to make it really good looking or anything. It just needs to be there. Needs to be my visiting card kind of a thing. So I don't want a very expensive website kind of particular. So people just usually build those kind of website, just leave it there for a long period of time. So what does that mean when you do that? Basically, it's just whether you have a business card, you're just keeping the business card in your pocket and you're just roaming around with it without really making sure it is current, it is correct, it looks good, those kind of things. So, what a customer magnet website really means, what it looks. So, a customer magnet, a magnet that attracts customers, is the one that attracts not just visitors, the right visitors. You, even if 100 people are coming to a website, doesn't mean you want 100 people to come to your business. You want the right people to walk in. A website that build trust quickly. You put the right kind of information in the right way and build quick trust with your online walk-ins. Make it very easy to take action. For example, when somebody comes to your website, is there a call to action on the website where people can click if they want to learn something more? Make sure your website is up and running 24/7 and talks very nicely about your business. In the end, the internet is 24/7. So make sure your online version of your business also works for you 24/7. So what are the steps we can take? What can we do to make sure our website acts as a customer magnet? So always the few questions: what, who, how, when, where. Answer all these questions as soon as you get on the first page. So it should be very, very clear. Who are you? What are you? What services you provide? How you can help the users, and so on. And it should be done in a way where a customer doesn't have to go digging. Oh, let me see. Oh, who is this? Where can I find who this is? It's on the third page. Oh, where can I find how to go to the contact page? Oh, it's on the seventh page. Where is the phone number? So don't make anybody work. Guess what? When you make anybody work for the information that you should hand them right away when they come to the website, those kind of people will leave and go somewhere else very, very quickly, just as quickly as they came to your website. So usually a person has just about 7 seconds to impress someone. It is like going on a date. When you go on a date, not that I've been on many dates, but I'm here talking to the experienced crowd. So if you go on a date, you're not going to wait on the 30th minute to set up an impression. The impression is right within the first 5 seconds. So what do you do when you go on a date? You dress nicely, you smell nicely, you talk nicely, you greet nicely. So now convert the same thing to your website. Does your website do that for everybody? Is it something that can attract? Because remember, we are talking about customer magnets. A magnet attracts. So look at your website and think, is this attractive? Is it attracting the right kind of people? So call to action is the best way to guide the people what to do, right? Request a demo, book a consultation, call now, schedule a consultation, or here is a free brochure, or here learn more. So there are usually, when you go to a website, it could be possible that people may want to take a very quick call to action. They may want to buy your product. But imagine if somebody is selling a course worth $2,000, or maybe a hot tub worth about $25,000 or $10,000. You are not going to expect them to just click a button and say, oh, there's a call to action to buy it, so let me buy it. These kind of things require a little bit more hands-on, face-to-face kind of a deal. So here is what you can do. Your primary call to action would say, schedule a call, give us a call, or you can say, download our brochure. So don't think of it as a salesperson who may have, do this. If you don't want to do this, do this. So a primary call to action and a secondary call to action really, really help to guide the user in either doing the main thing that you want them to do, or to give you an opportunity to convince them by either downloading a e-brochure and stuff like that. So that's how I would go about. If you have a good website and if you say, hey, book a call today or click here to learn more, that is a good way to do it. Another thing, whenever you want to build a trust, you have to have some signals that build trust. When it comes to a website, let's think about what signals emulate trust. A testimonial. Instead of having a page called testimonials, who's ever going to go to that page to look at testimonials on your website that you control? I mean, do you think that's even fair to occupy a menu item called testimonials over there? Where would you put testimonials? Is it a good idea to have a testimonial on your website? Absolutely. Have a testimonial, sprinkle it all over the website, especially where you take a call to action. People are hovering over the button, schedule a call, give them a line over there saying, this is your best client. I love this person. This person is amazing. Now, a person is hovering over there, looks at the testimonial and say, oh my God, that's such a great testimonial. Let me schedule a consultation. That's how it should be. You need to give the testimonials or provide the samples of trust signals where you want the user to take actions. Okay, schedule a consultation or take a look at our case studies. That's a trusting. The minute you create a case study, that means you already know your business and you have done certain kinds of projects, and now you can create case studies out of it. Also, I have seen lots and lots of websites, especially think about it. If you're a general contractor and you are putting all people with nice hard hats, with great floor plans, looking this way, looking that way, but that's not you. That's not anybody in your business. What does that say about that business? You couldn't take one photo of your people doing activities around you. How does that even help build trust? So why don't you show, it's a doctor's website and you have all these stock images of doctors and nurses who are also engineers and something somewhere else. Why would they convince me to come to you? You're a finance manager or you sell financial products and somebody else is on there on your website. When it comes to finance, when it comes to doctors, it is the doctor who is selling, who's asking you to come inside to their institution. So put yourself there and get over it. Everybody looks beautiful. Take a nice picture. We have a great photographer. Call me. I will introduce you to the photographer. And we can put you on the website. That sells. Those are trust signals. And then, of course, make 100% sure your call to action, where you put your contact information. And the example Ajay was giving, give that everywhere readily. And call to contact information doesn't have to be phone number. If you don't want people to call you, give a clear form, give an email address. Always form is the best because you can track, you can keep some kind of data on it and take actions later. But give clear actions so people can actually contact you if they ever want to. And again, whenever you create your website, doesn't matter how amazing it looks on the desktop, and doesn't matter if you yourself as a business owner are always sitting on the desktop and watching everything on, I only use desktop. Half the world, 75% of the world who are using websites are on mobile devices. So make 100% sure your website, no matter you built the website yesterday or built 3 years ago, if it works great on your mobile till today, everything is clear, navigation is clear, you don't have to pinch and expand, and things don't move. When I'm going up, things keep jerking up and down, and the form goes into pages and pages. All these things are going to deter people from even interacting with the website. So try avoiding those things. Keep it as simple as possible. Those are the ways to have more and more people. I mean, you're trying to eliminate all excuses from all kinds of devices and resolution from people to contact you. Always make sure to keep your website live. What does that mean? About 15-20 years ago, when I used to work at a corporate job, we would get the website out the door. The goal was, and we would always tell this line to our clients. We used to have digital marketing clients, and our goal was to get them out to the market so we could do SEO, AdWords, and other stuff. So the idea was a website is a living thing, it keeps changing. So let's get it out the door once, let it go live first time. We can always keep making changes to it. It's a living, breathing thing, just like your business. The more changes you have on your business, you have to keep reflecting that on the website. You can't build the website 10 years ago and say, oh, I have a website. No, you have a website, but it doesn't reflect to what you do today. So always make sure to update the content. If you have new services, add new services. And as you keep working on your business, how to expand and talk about your services more simply, keep updating the website. Try different things. How did people find you? How did the other person find you who came to you last? Get the information and see if you need to change something so more people can find you in that category. Change your images. 10 years ago, you looked like something and now you look like something else. Change images. Keep it fresh. Your website is the online version of your business. So always keep it up to date. And there are so many free tracking tools. It's a good idea to have analytics and stuff like that. And once in a while, go into analytics every month and just take a gander on what it looks. Who is coming to your website? Only people from China? Then there is something wrong with the website. So it's a good idea to analyze and track and understand what's going on with the website and keep the website updated depending on the trends and so on. A few things that people do which makes me always think, why couldn't they figure that out much more easily and faster? So as you saw, when I am sharing this PowerPoint presentation with you, there are bullet points over here. That's because it's a PowerPoint presentation. These are powerful points, and I'm here to talk and expand more about each point. Same way, the website should have enough information, but not too much. Because behind the website you are there. When they interact with you, you are there to convert them, you are there to give them a lot of information. So don't put too much and unnecessary information on the website. Make it clear so within a glance people can understand what you do, what your services are, and get to the next thing. We don't want to have an encyclopedia on your website. Keep it very, very quick, very focused, and very neat. And if you can make some words bold that are positive, even when you are writing, when you're sprinkling testimonials, make sure the testimonials are a line or two, or take a snippet of the testimonial and put. Don't put a 3-page testimonial on two-line paragraph. So make sure every page, for example, let's say you are providing 3 services. Service 1, service 2, service 3. So this is a case where you will have a service landing page. The reason is, think about how you used to write an essay when you are in school. The essay would have a subject, and then you would take that subject and sprinkle the subject all over the page where you would write the essay, thereby saying that I wrote an essay on this subject. So think about the search engines that are going to consume your website. So they don't consume the whole website. They consume one page at a time. When they consume one page at a time, there is a repository which says, oh, this page talks about service 1 or this page talks about service 2. So they attribute each page to each topic. So when a person is looking for service 1 in Bay Area, that's search engine says, oh, somebody has written a great topic on a great subject on this. This is a relevant thing. Let me produce this for them. So that is how it produces relevant results. So that is why make sure when you're talking about a service, dedicate a whole page, not too much content. Make sure it has the correct kind of content. Spread images or videos if you have. Use almost any artifact that you know, videos, then your images, and use nice font, clear headings. Differentiate content with bullet points and so on, like you see on this page. It's very clear. The main topic over on this page is common mistakes businesses make, and then there is a subtopic, why website failed to convert. And then there are bullet points. Now, if all your websites and web pages had this same structure, it is so easy to read. So try and emulate this, what you're seeing in front of you on every page on your website. So to make it very simple, Make sure your website has a very strong call to action where people are directed. Go here. Oh, you don't have time to go here? Go here. Or here's a brochure. Take this and go home and take your time and come back when you want. Sprinkle your testimonials. Use proper photos. If real photos, great. And if your website is easy to use, then even more better. You will start getting more real inquiries when you follow all these things. So, final thoughts. Oh, your website should work for your business, guide your visitors clearly, and grow over time. The last line, grow over time, meaning when today you may not have the budget or you may not have the time to deal with your website, but over time, keep adding to your website, grow your website same way your business does. So those are my final thoughts. And now I open for any questions. Thank you so much.
Yeah, Sandeepa, thank
Yes,
you so much for sharing your expertise with us today. We really appreciate you taking the time and presenting it.
absolutely. Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity.
So, Sandeepa, a quick question. When customization or personalization, that's also, I guess, very key because website also, there is no unlimited budget. There is also no unlimited workspace, homepage. We can, as you said, don't put everything. So, do you cater to based on the business? Let me give an example. If I start a travel agency, then maybe SEO is not the number one priority for me because it's very hard for me to beat Expedia, Kayak, all those Orbits, all those companies. So I will be not coming on the first page for as a basic travel agency book flight. I won't be there. As simple as that. On the other hand, if I am opening a small daycare in my neighborhood, then there are not tons of neighborhood in my school and do SEO, then whoever searches in my neighborhood will find easily number one top on the page. That's easier. So my question is, based on what the business is, you cater to what to emphasize, or one website could be more SEO oriented, though ideally we would like SEO to be the focus everywhere, but in some cases SEO may not be the priority. In some situations, it could be more ease of use, as you mentioned, and getting that message out that whoever comes, even if less people come, they all get the message very clearly, especially if it's a service that is not that common or people are not even aware of that this service is available. So is that something you work with your expanded team and the client to make sure the website has what it requires to be successful?
So you asked so many questions in just one go. Let me try to take your questions from a different angle and let's see if we can learn something from here. So when I think about search engine optimization, so the first thing is when you're saying search engine optimization, so you're optimizing for the search engine. So now let's look at the word search engines. So that means it is an engine, and engine works on algorithms. Okay, so now let's all become logical developers for a few seconds over here. Okay, so imagine I am going to build a search engine. Okay, let's all think that we are all search engine builders. So let's now, as a search engine, think about Ajay's question. Let's think about the question of travel agency and let's think about the question of daycare. Now, both businesses have one thing in common. One applies for general public and one applies for specific public. One applies all over the world, whereas one applies to a neighborhood. Now, think about the same travel agency business. Forget the word Expedia or Make My Trip or something like that. Think about a travel agency that caters to a niche of people. Imagine that I have a travel agency that just works for C-suite executives. You know, I book their golf trip, I book their retreat, I book their vacations, or do the entire family schedule or whatever. Expedia doesn't do that, or Make My Trip doesn't do that. Here we are going to establish a concierge service. So when I go to the search engine and say, hey, I am a travel agency, just like Expedia, but this is what I do. And I'm looking to develop or connect with C-suite executives in and around Contra Costa only. And one of the things that I do is I go meet the executive or meet the family and discuss their vacation plans or what they do in person. So now I have come up with so many more things than what Expedia is even capable of doing. So for me, it is the same thing. I go to the search engine and say, now the 1,000 people who are looking to book their ticket or vacations on Expedia, in that there would be, let's say, about 10 people who want the service that I am catering. I'm just asking the search engine, hey, can you bring those 10 people to me? I don't care about those 1,000 people. I'm just interested in this 10 people. And when those 10 people come to me, it is on myself, on my business, how I appear online to convert those 10 people. I will book their tickets too. I may use Expedia to book their tickets, but I will be the person booking their tickets. Again, now when we think about daycare, think about if you had a child, how far would you travel to put your child in daycare? Maybe 3 miles, maybe 5 miles max. So the requirement of having the daycare show on the internet when you're looking for it is that particular area. So just because there are other businesses, somebody who's there has great name for ages and ages, and you just started yesterday, doesn't mean anything. So you could start your business today and you could start getting eyeballs on your website because you are now harnessing those people who are coming after a message or so. That's where your messaging, your client focus, and your call to actions come into picture. So I wouldn't worry if all the domain names have been taken and you have to settle with some domain name that doesn't even make sense. It is the content and it is the focus that you are coming on your website that attracts your clients, and the search engines who are algorithm based will come and take your website and feed it in the results. So they bring the clients to you. So for example, Edna, now Edna has a very, very niche audience, right, Edna? And she is not going after coaching, life coaching or whatever. She wants people who are in the cancer journey. That's her niche. So now that she has figured out her niche, now she won't get all those people. She will get only those people because her message is extremely clear and it is focused, and her website also will reflect that. So imagine that 10 people who are looking her kind of product, so they will come to her. So work on the website, keep working on it, keep working and keep adding, and tell people why you are what you are for your services, why you are better than Expedia, why you are better than Make My Trip or anybody else. And people will start keeping on coming to you. So remember, everything in the end is an engine when it comes to online. And if you follow the rules, if you follow the policies, your website too can attract, can be a customer magnet. The only thing is, don't build and shut. Build and keep on improving. So I told you, you asked a very huge question.
That makes sense. Thank you.
Absolutely. So
Oh, go
yeah,
ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, no, so great, great information. And I like how you talked about refreshing, authentic. What would you say for, there's so many different channels, right? And so I work with a lot of clients that they're, how much should I really invest in my website versus, let's say if they have Substack or they've got these other portals or other places for digital or landing pages. Another good example is sometimes you can get a free website with HubSpot or something like that. So how much emphasis to put on the website, knowing that there's all these other channels, which are more or less websites, but they're coming up in other platforms. Even LinkedIn, you could say that's your own website too, in a way.
Perfect.
So,
The way you're thinking, and I have answers for every single one of your questions.
okay.
So first of all, when you build your own website, regardless of whether they are available on HubSpot or LinkedIn or Facebook or anything, if you want your website to be available globally, you would build them first in a neutral platform. Okay, which
I
is
always advise clients to WordPress. You mean not owned by a HubSpot or a GHL, you're saying?
Yeah. So
Right.
HubSpot is a customer relationship management tool.
Yeah.
So it has many other facilities, and website is not a core feature. You can buy the marketing and website feature. It's an add-on. It is not given to you. So you can buy it on HubSpot. Whereas LinkedIn is a directory service for professionals. A Facebook is a social tool for older generation. A Twitter is again a tool for communicating, especially if you are an individual who has a high life, who does one thing every second of the day and people want to know what you do. So whether it's a business or a person, that's Twitter. So every platform that you just spoke about has its own audience. And each of the audience are craving what the platform stands for. So is it a good idea to go and have your presence there? Yes. So whether it is YouTube, whether it is Instagram, whether it is Facebook, don't scoff. I'm not a social media person.
Yeah.
I'm not a LinkedIn person. No. Anywhere where it allows you to create your free profile, please, for your business, go create your free profile there. Keep all those profile updated. Make sure you create the profile using your own email address and be present when you create those, because the audience over there will look at you there but still come to your website. Now Yelp, a simple thing, if you are on Yelp, if you go, there is some stats area where you can go and see how people came to Yelp and found your business, and then what did they do next. And 90% of the time when a business comes to Yelp, it is always from Google. And when the person is found, the business is found on Yelp, the next thing they do is click to see the business's website. So they're coming to Yelp, they look at you, and the next thing they're doing their 5-second research by going to your website and checking you out. So if you have a website, great. Now they are on the third point. They require a couple more points to be converted. But if this website has correct information, it looks nice, and a proper call to action to contact you, they are sold. So is it a wise idea not to create a website because marketing dollars are less? Go for a very inexpensive website. You don't have to keep.
Just to clarify, I'm not asking for myself. Of course, everyone needs a website. I mean, that's what I do for a living is marketing consulting. So just to clarify, I'm not suggesting, but I do run into clients quite a bit where, of course, they have limited budgets. And so it's more of a question of degree. How much should I really pour into a website, knowing that really my business also lives on LinkedIn, it also lives on X, it also lives, right, maybe an e-commerce store. So that's all I meant, is to what degree. Right. And especially
So if a small business, a business mine, or let's say Edna's or Ajay's, we have a website, all the information is there, call to action, it is well focused, every single service is well defined. It doesn't have to look an amazing website. If everything is there, I would use those marketing dollars in going to other platforms and bringing in audience to the website.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So I would write blogs to enhance and expand on my services because I don't want to clutter my website with too much information. But I have so much information, then I would create blogs. And I would
Of
use
course,
these
yeah.
blogs and use other mediums to bring them to my website. So in the end, when people convert, they convert on your website. For pros. Sorry about that.
No problem. Yeah, that was great. Well, so I how you thought about it in terms of audience as opposed to channels. So that's good.
Yes.
And it makes sense because if I take my own example, I'm not on every channel. I don't have an Instagram account, and my daughter doesn't have a Twitter account.
Or LinkedIn, right? She probably doesn't have LinkedIn, and so you kind of have to go where your audience is.
Right.
Too. I'm not gonna, yeah.
So,
right.
And then I guess it's also a case of what our target market is. If my target market is mainly or a majority of them are on Facebook, then that has to be a highly focused area besides my website, because I can be very active on every social media channel. But if my contacts or the people I want to connect with, they are on LinkedIn, then I focus more on LinkedIn.
Yeah. So an example, Heidi, I know a personal injury attorney. She was given an amazing referral. The referral was up to about $280,000. And the person who told her just gave her name. And that other person started to look for her online. But no matter what they did, they didn't find a website. She
Yeah.
lost the job because,
Really?
yeah, just because she was
Wow.
not online.
Yeah. No,
So,
that's.
I mean,
I
I
know what you
would
mean.
say it doesn't matter how famous you are, just have one landing page
Oh
with
no, no,
your
no.
own words.
Yeah, just to
Yeah.
clarify again, it's I'm not. I would never tell a client not to have a website. Yeah, just for the record, I know we're all being recorded. My question only ever was to what degree,
Yes.
because we have to appreciate that small businesses have limited budget. But I think I agree with you. It's hey, it's your front door. People are. It's the first thing if they meet you on LinkedIn, they're going to go legitimize, make sure you're real, see the website to also see how you tell your story. So we can move on. It's totally good. So, but yeah, good discussion for sure.
Yeah, and I think it was good that you suggested entry level websites for some people, depending on their budget and all. Yeah, that's good to keep in mind.
Yep.
Yeah, and then I think Edna has a question.
What I wondered as you were talking about how the first place you go is go to a website to legitimize the person. So in this day and age of so much hacking and so much trying to, I don't know, extort money from people and all this stuff that goes on, I think that it's even more important to have that website, right? Because I know that that's for whatever reason I have been, I don't want to call myself a victim, but I have been worked in terms of, and that's one of the things that I actually go and legitimize people by going and trying to find them on a website. Do they ever exist? Do they even exist? And if they're not, if they don't see, if I don't have them on a website or I don't find a website, then I doubt that they exist, right? Is that more common than not then, Sandeepa?
I like the way you're thinking. That's also a very good, place. That's why I said when you have your own website, then it's your voice, you know, and that works in both the ways. Like you can't, put too many testimonials and say, look what people are talking about me, a kind of a thing, but talk more about your services in your own voice. So that definitely I mean, people do their 5-second research. Let's all think over here. If we wanted to find Chinese food, what would we do? Look for Chinese food near me. You will get about 3-4 results. You will click a couple of results, read the reviews, and then next thing you would actually try and go to the website. Wouldn't you go to the website at least to find, okay, what time to what time is or what are the menu options available and those kind of things. So it's a good idea to actually have a website. It doesn't matter how simple it is. have a website, keep it having updated information. Think about it as going to an airport with outdated signs and everybody's confused. Why did you even come here? Now you don't know which way is the TSA and which way is the place to go to do your baggage check. So make sure to have all the updated information because you just have 5 seconds. People come to your website, make sure the website loads super quick and make sure it has all the information. It does not need to be fancy. Nowadays, we are getting paid to make a non-fancy website, especially the way we used to create websites in the early days about 20 years ago when there was only HTML 1.0. The reason is those are the best kinds of websites. They're AA, ADA compliant certified that can allow people to navigate the website without using a mouse or and just a keyboard. Just think about pre-mouse days. So nowadays we have to create those websites for certain groups of people. So website doesn't have to be fancy unless until you're a graphic designer or you're a photographer where you want to showcase your work. For everything else, I would keep it as simple and streamlined as possible. And I wouldn't go on, Heidi said, I wouldn't keep on working on the website and working on the website. I mean, it's painting your room. Paint it once, it's done. Yeah, and if anything looks out of place, just give it a touch up. Don't recreate it. Don't break the whole house down just because you don't like the paint.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that. I mean, and always remember, people already know you live here. So you don't have to redo the whole thing and move somewhere else. You're going to confuse everybody.
Yeah.
It's such a good point. I just have to say, I love that because I kind of hear one or the other from people. Either they haven't touched it and they're afraid to touch it, or they're just over tinkering, right? And you've hit the nail on the head. It's just little touch ups, keep it current, and then move on to these other channels.
I come up with so many analogies for everything. So I enjoy giving analogies so people can say, oh, yeah, that's right. As long as it is working, just get over it. Use those dollars for other things that you can do.
Yeah, no, those are good points. Sorry,
I was just
Imna, go
wondering
ahead.
sorry, AJ. And I was just wondering about, you mentioned ADA compliance. Where
Yes.
does that stand with websites?
Yeah, so just ADA compliance in physical world where you are making ramps so people can go up and down instead of stairs, or you are keeping things at a place where people can reach and having proper fonts so people can read. Website ADA compliance is also the same. So imagine you never had a mouse, but you are used to using up and down keys or tab to move all over the website. It should work. Most websites or web developers don't even bother. But when you are creating websites that are compliant, you have to worry about every single thing. Most of the websites you go, you don't even know whether that is a link or not a link because it doesn't underline it. So you need to have an underline over there. When you add an image, you don't know what the image is because you never named the image. In a way, the language requires you to name the image. Most websites, when you remember, I told you to stick to a topic per page and give proper bullet points and headers. People don't do that. They just add fancy text. Some text is big, some text is small. That's not HTMLized version of page structure. So HTML has its own language and we have to follow the language. So no matter which engine it is, whether it is a search engine or whether it is a disability reader engine or text reader engine, everything has to read your website properly. Now engines, they are being fed with certain type of language structures. And I keep saying HTML, so that is the language that is available no matter what server language you used. In the end, all the website are boiled down to simple HTML. The reason why it is there, because then you can have one language that can be communicating through various different types of engines. So It doesn't, to answer your question, it's we are overthinking it. We overthink so many things. It doesn't need to be that complicated. And I always say website is not rocket science.
This discussion actually brought a thought in my mind, which is along similar lines. And Heidi, as you work with a lot of companies, so this question is to both you, Heidi, and also to Sandeepa, that when it comes to email addresses, there are some business owners, they will have at gmail.com or at yahoo.com, and some will have their business domain. Isn't it having a business domain the same thing? It brings more credibility. What do you think?
Absolutely. And if you have a business domain, to create a mailbox is another $3 or $4.
I thought
It's
too
just,
that,
yeah.
yeah, and Sandeep, you probably know this better, but I know with Google Profile, they've recently changed it where you can now convert a Gmail to a business without having to switch your email address. It could just be a forwarding, but yeah, to answer your question, absolutely, you should definitely have a branded business name or your name so that it's not a Gmail or a Yahoo or a, yeah.
Right. Because I see sometimes pretty senior businesses in business for 15 years, and they're using pretty much everywhere their Hotmail, Rocket Mail, those addresses as the contact addresses on their website.
Try sbc.global.net. I don't know how 30 years ago.
Yeah. But also too, they should really separate out their business, right? Because it just looks like, to your point, and it just looks like an older email address, and it's not professional either.
Yeah.
Yep. So I do a lot of workshops. One of my goals is that no matter what business or when you were formed, even if it's a kid's business, I feel everybody should have and know how to create a website. And Heidi was saying there are some tools where you can create websites for free, really, really free, and they can also come up in Google. So if anybody is struggling to create a website, please let them know. They can always contact me and I can help them. So anytime a group of people get together and want to learn a little bit more about search engines on how to do stuff, I'm always there. So teaching is one of the important aspects of my business of creating websites. I allow my team to create the websites. I enjoy teaching.
Thank you. Thanks for doing this. Great avatar too.
Yeah, thank you. I personally enjoyed you teaching us as well in today's session, especially with the analogies, making it relatable. But yeah, once again, thank you for sharing your expertise, and we really appreciate you taking your time out of your day to be here.
Thank you so much, Avanita and Tia. You guys are, I'm so impressed by you guys, what you guys are doing. It's really amazing.
Yeah, and I have to thank you again, and also everyone else who's here today. We'll also be sharing a recap on today's session along with all your contact info on our website. And yeah, I learned so much today. It was really easy to follow along, even though I don't have that much background info on it. And yeah, just stay tuned. Our next session is going to be coming up in March, and we'll be sending out an email with more details.
Perfect. That works.
Yeah. Thanks again. Thank you for joining. We hope you have a clear idea of how your website can support your business and help it grow. And we hope you have a great rest of your day.
Thank you all.
Thanks everyone. Thanks Tia and
Bye.
Avita.